Hey everybody, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan, here with another Plan With Me video in my classic size Happy Planner. This is the Daydream Happy Planner that I'm using as a journal / memory keeper. So as you've seen in my previous video, I'm doing this video in two parts. So the first part, I'm going to decorate it and it will be before the pen. And then the second part, you will see after the pen and you will see me decorate it with pictures. So I'm just gonna take the pages out. Put the page there. And this week I will be using some leftover papers from the Planner Society. So I still have a few pieces of the gorgeous paper left and I will be using these as well as some of the leftover deco and washi and things like that to go over my spread this week. All right, so let's get started.
So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut around this bunch of flowers in the corner. I love the pattern and the color of all these flowers in this kit, and this is a great way to be able to use any scrapbook paper, or somebody mentioned using wrapping paper and being able to use it in your spreads. And using my Tombow repositional glue tape to place it down on the spread. And then I'm just going to cut off the extra. Already love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So trying to cut out another little bunch of flowers, and I'm going to place that on Thursday. The first part of this spread and the first way I decorate this spread is obviously going to be mostly decorative. There isn't too much functionality when it comes to my journal or my memory planner. So my before the pen is definitely decorating with the thought in mind that there are going to be certain days that I'm going to have pictures and other days where I won't. So I'm trying to use up some of the die cuts in the Planner Society kit from November. But instead, I'm using this little stencil that I have, the hexagon stencil, because I don't have a punch. I've been trying to find one for ages and never been able to find one. But I'm tracing the hexagon pattern onto all the different papers and then just cutting them out. Fast forwarding here to when I have them all done. And I'm going to look at the placement of them around the spread, showing off all of the different patterns of the papers. And what I love about each of the Planner Society kits is that even though the papers are all different, they all go so well together. And I'm placing the different patterns of the hexagons around the page just to give it a bit more dimension. And that way you have something to draw your eye to. And there's also a bit of a balance that on the bottom of the spread you have the floral bunches, and then on the top of the spread you have the hexagons. So with this type of decorating, it still allows me plenty of room to write in my journal, but then by placing those hexagons and those flower bunches theirs in the corner, it allows me room as well to place down any pictures should I take any. So this is definitely a different way of approaching memory planning and memory keeping. I am decorating first, then I'm going to be journaling and writing down what's happened during the week. And then once I get my pictures printed, because I don't have a selfie printer or a picture printer at home, I will get these pictures printed and then put them into my spread. And luckily I have a Staples nearby so I can get the same day printing pretty much done. And I was always a bit fearful of memory planning, but this is definitely a way I can safely get into it. So you see I covered up one of the discs with one of the hexagons, and all I did was take my hole punch the hole through, and then cut the slits. Very easy if you don't have a Mambi punch. And now I'm taking a few of the washi tapes and putting some decorative strips around the spread, just to make use of what I have. You can never go wrong with the Planner Society kit. There's so much that comes in a kit and you can do so much with it. Not just in a traveler's notebook, but in scrapbooking and planning. Absolutely well worth the money. So I'm trying to see if there's any die cuts that I could put around the spread. And I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I'll just leave that for now. And then if I do want to add anything else throughout the week, I might do that. But that's it for part 1. And the next time you see this, part 2 will be after I've written in it and I will be putting in the pictures. So stay tuned.
So this is part 2 of my memory planning spread. So there's the completed before the pen, which I'm just going to take out. And place on the, oh, I've taken out 2 pages, not 1. So I've placed that on my table so it's easier to plan in. But as you can see, compared to my last spread, I haven't actually written in here yet. So what I'm gonna do is place the pictures down, and then once I've placed the pictures down, go ahead and write around it, and then I will show you the finished product. Okay, so let's get started.
So here you see I've printed off this picture, and what I've done is actually used an app on my phone called the PicStitch app and put 6 pictures into a 4x6. And then I get it sent off to Staples and they print it, and they actually do same-day printing, and it's pretty cheap, and I have a Staples about a 2-minute drive away from me, so I don't mind having them printed at Staples. I don't have a selfie printer, so this works out really well for me. And as you can see, I've sized the pictures slightly differently this week. I've decided that having them 2x2 actually works better for the horizontal planner. They seem to fit better in the rows this way. So the next thing I'm going to do actually is just lay out the pictures on the days that they were taken and try to balance them out so that they're not all on one side of the spread. Now there are a few more pictures on Friday through Sunday than there are on Monday to Thursday, but that works out fine anyway. I didn't want to cover that flower bunch, but at the same time, if I had placed that other picture in the middle of this spread, I would have taken away a lot of writing room. So I had to sacrifice, I guess, a bit of the decoration so that I could have more writing room. I love that picture of me and my son, or sorry, of my son in the top right hand corner. We went for a little coffee date before we had his appointment. And just placing that picture of my daughter on Saturday. She and I have our weekly lunch date now after her gymnastics class, and she just seems to enjoy it so much, so I'm really glad that I'm able to document that. And then on Sunday, went out for brunch with a couple of my other planner friends, went to Cora's for Alyssa's birthday, and it was just really fun. It had been a while since all 3 of us have caught up, so it was nice for all of us to see each other. So I'm going through the Happy Memory Keeping sticker book, and I find this great Love It quote in gold foil, and I actually decided to cut it in 2 because in one length it wouldn't have all fit in that corner, but cutting it in 2, love the way that looks. But now that I've actually placed the stickers down, or sorry, the pictures down, I can be a bit more decorative as well. I'm actually finding this process a little bit easier because I've broken it down into 2 parts. I've broken it down into the first part, which is decorating before the pen, and then the second part is basically just placing the pictures down and then writing around it. So for me, I've made this process a lot easier for myself, whereas before, I think I was really overwhelmed by memory keeping because of all that I had to do in one step, I guess. But here I've broken it down so that it is a lot more manageable for me. I'm taking a few more stickers from the Daydreamer sticker book, and now I'm going to go ahead and write in my entries. So as you see, I have my phone there on the side. I've actually written my entries into my phone beforehand, just so that it's a little bit easier for me to remember what's happened through the week. If I try to remember everything that happened the day that I filmed this, I don't know if I would actually remember anything. And in my journal, there's certain days that are going to be a little bit more personal and that I like to have a little bit, or go into a bit more depth in terms of the way I'm feeling. But otherwise, it's a little synopsis of what I do each day. And I'm really loving the result of this. And just a little hand lettering at the bottom here. And it looks like it actually was part of the spread beforehand.
Finished spread, and I think it actually worked out better that I was able to put the photos in first and then write around it. I feel like actually my writing is slightly bigger because the lines are slightly bigger in the classic planner, and I think next time maybe I'll try a finer line pen, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching and have yourselves a great day.